Naturopath David Lomman is with me right now. Good afternoon to you, David.
Good afternoon, Dave. Good afternoon, everyone.
Our topic today?
Enzymes. The last of the four big building blocks of the body. First week we covered water. Then we covered food. Last week we covered minerals. And this week it's enzymes.
We'll find out all about enzymes. We'll look forward to that. Stay with us. We've been looking at those fundamental blocks that help build our body and make our body continue. And today it's the fourth and final one we're looking at, which is enzymes, David.
Yes, it is. It's a little understood subject, but one that is critical for health.
Tell us a little bit about these enzymes then and what they do, that important role in our body.
Well, first of all, you know, we've talked about water, we talked food, we talked minerals and everything else. Well, without the enzymes, we can't use any of it. But basically, without enzymes, we wouldn't be here. Enzymes are actually the very thing which allows us to be conceived, because an enzyme is needed to break down the wall of the egg to allow the sperm to penetrate. So without that happening, we wouldn't be here at all in a human form. I think we'd still be here in a spiritual form, but we wouldn't be here in a human form. The other factor with enzymes is they're continually being made in our body, and I've got no idea how many are made, but there's billions of them made all the time because we need them for everything that happens in our body.
How can we go about successfully continuing to have them made in our body?
Well, we need the minerals, and that's the catch-22. We need the enzymes to break down the food to get the minerals to make the enzymes. So when our body doesn't have enzymes, what it will do, it will rob different parts of our body to get the minerals that it needs to make more enzymes. Because minerals and enzymes work so closely together. You need one and you need the other. You need them both to work effectively on each other. And if, for instance, a man is deficient in zinc, his stores of zinc in the prostate will be robbed to make up the enzymes that he needs for digestion, because digestion is a more critical thing in the body, an immediate thing that needs to happen in the body, than the reproductive system is. So the nature will sacrifice what is least used in order to do what is most needed. And that's the area in which enzymes are critically important and minerals are critically important.
So I imagine we need to try and get the best balance of minerals in our body?
Absolutely. And without that right balance, the liver can't function properly, none of the organs can function properly, and our body just does not react and operate at optimal health.
So, David, how do we go about getting the best balance of minerals to help with our enzymes?
Well, the thing I use is Rbti Analysis, as we've talked about before, because I find that tells me the biochemistry of the body, and from that I can work out which minerals are needed. And it's just a very simple way to find that out.
Tell us what's involved with the Rbti.
It's just a laboratory test, basically, that tests a sample of urine and saliva. And the reason that we do that is we want to find out the level of energy that the body is holding at the present time. And we want to find out where the pHs are, because the pH of the body through the urine and saliva is critical to the absorption of minerals. And that is critical to the making of enzymes.
Now, share with us some of the results that can come from an Rbti test.
Well, you might have someone with cancer, for instance, who's got a very, very low pH. They're 5.2 or something like that in the urine, and they might have a high saliva pH, which means that they've got total imbalance. So normally they'll be getting a lot of gut and digestive problems and everything else. Now, if that's only medicated with a drug, for instance, because they've got heartburn or they've got reflux or whatever it might be, but nothing is done to look at the underlying cause of it, further down the track, it's very easy for that to develop into something more serious, because the lack of minerals in the body will then lead to a breakdown of the tissues of the body.
David, what reading would you get from the Rbti with someone who's got a lower fatigue problem?
With a very fatigued person, usually you have very low readings, you have very low carbohydrate readings, you have very low salt readings, you can sometimes have very high alkaline readings of the urine and saliva, which just show that the body is in a high resistance state and it's not letting go of anything.
And what would you do then? Once you've gone through the reading and you've got what you think, you've got the results there on what needs to be done, how do you then counter that problem? Say if the counter is, as I'm suggesting now, a fatigue problem.
Look, in 98% probably of times I'd be giving some form of enzyme to help boost up the body's own supply of enzyme, because we need continual supplies. And of the things that I take, enzymes are my priority. If I start to get a cold, I'll stop eating and I'll just take enzymes because the enzymes help me fight that. Enzymes slow down aging. They help a whole lot of different things work better. They keep my youthful skin looking youthful. But yeah, no, it is critical to get the right amount of enzymes, and I assess where their minerals are and give them appropriate minerals as well.
And what's the best form of enzymes? Are you looking for a supplement, a vitamin, or are you looking through vegetables, or both?
Look, live foods are the best forms of getting enzymes in your diet. That's why vegetables are critically important. Not the vegetables my grandmother probably used to cook. However, vegetables which are fresh, healthy, crisp, and vegetables and salads, if people can tolerate them, which are live and healthy, are usually those grown on healthy soil, because that healthy soil has all the minerals that are needed, and that allows the actual vegetables to have the enzymes that are needed in the vegetables themselves. In Ian Gawler's work down in Melbourne with the cancer clinic down there, it's a lot of vegetable juices, which is taken from the Gerson protocol. And the vegetable juices, the main reason for the vegetable juices is the live enzymes that are in the juices. I like to take a few safeguards and give other people heaps of enzymes as well, because I find that works really well.
150 thereabout people very interested on Saturday for the forum you hosted. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. It was fantastic. We had some great presenters, and we covered things like diet by actually presenting food and showing what food should be like.
It was good, great to see it was so well received by those people, and now you've given them some direction to go on. Now, you've showed me here before we went to air some of the, on the questionnaire, some of the boxes that people ticked. Two areas came through very strong as the areas of concern for people.
The major areas of concern which most parents ticked or teachers ticked was anxiety and depression, because most mental illnesses also have those links as well. So if a child has something going wrong, it will usually result in some form of anxiety and depression, as well as the condition which is diagnosed.
Anxiety and depression, were those two areas expected by you, or did that come as a slight surprise?
That came as a surprise because I was just expecting people to tick the boxes marked autism or ASD, autism spectrum disorder, or ADD, ADHD, or ODD, oppositional defiance disorder, or, any of the other names which are out there for different conditions. So when they ticked those boxes heavily, or more heavily than some of the others, it was quite a surprise.
Both of those areas very strongly represented there in the survey.
Very much so.
Now, enzymes. We're talking enzymes today. We'll get back to that. What more can you tell us about that, and possibly how enzymes can help in those two areas that we spoke about there that were strongly represented?
Well, most people with anxiety and depression have underlying physical conditions of nutritional deficiencies. One reason being that we have tended to grow up on a lot of processed food, and processed food does not have live enzymes in it. The heating of the food kills the live enzymes. The heating of milk kills the enzymes. The heating of wheat kills the enzymes. The heating of vegetables over the top kills the enzymes. So that's part of it. But all of these children will be suffering from enzyme deficiencies as a part of their condition. And that will mean they're not absorbing the minerals that they need to actually keep them more calm. Look, honestly, sometimes a lot of things go wrong in the womb. And being something wrong in the womb means that the child won't pick up the minerals that they need to get. So it's a process of rebuilding, basically. However, when the child does get the opportunity to have those areas of their body rebuilt, they just become normal. As I said on at the forum, one of the things I was speaking on was the fact that no children wants to have a mental illness, and if they do have, it's because we as parents have missed the skills that could help them get out of it. We just don't know. And as Kerry Ream said, all disease starts with mineral deficiency. And the way that you can tell whether your child has a mineral deficiency is that a normal child is happy, loving, open, adventurous, inquisitive, and eager to learn. That's what I would call normal. If the child's isn't like that, there is obviously something wrong with their biochemistry. And the sooner that people find out what is wrong, the better for the child. The story of enzymes is one of the most fascinating you'll ever read about. And it's one of the ones that I love to teach to my students when I'm teaching naturopathic students. So it is a underestimated, under-publicized area of health that not a lot of people know about, but more people will really benefit by knowing about it. And the important thing is that you get the right enzymes for the condition that you actually have. Because it's like anything else. If you get too much of the wrong thing, it's not going to do you any good. But if you get the right thing, it's going to just slot into the right place. And enzymes are like a key and lock system. You must have the right enzymes to do the right digestive work. Enzymes clear up all the waste material in the body. They help with the whole functioning of the body in every different way. So it's a really important subject.
We'll look forward to your company again next week, David.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, everyone.